So today we are having the presentation of the topic we have learned, the first chapter of Pramaratna Sangraha, Prapanchvivek, consideration of the universe. Fine, you people may start presenting one by one.
Ji Raja. Pramaratna Sangraha, Chapter 1, Prapanchvivek. So this is talking about the philosophical and metaphysical form of Brahma. The author of this is Sri Lalu Bhattji. He followed the same order as Sri Mahaprabhuji for Shatrapakan. He had Satprakan, Chitprakan, and Brahmaprakan. Satprakan means nature of the universe. Chitprakan means the reasons for our creation. And Brahmaprakan means Bhagwan, the creator, and the creation. We are the players, and Brahma is the creator and the spectator. And all of Satprakan, Chitprakan, and Brahmaprakan together is called Jivan Sadhana. The universe is a resultant form of Brahma. The universe is made out of Brahma's Sat quality. So if Brahma is the creator in the material form, that means everything in the world is Brahmatmak. That means he's connected to the 5 elements: water, fire, earth, space, and air. We call these 5 elements Prapanch. The universe is a manifestation, creation of Brahma. In this, it explains about what is Brahma's karya, function. So Brahma's function is that he is the creator of the universe. So there are some examples. If a goldsmith makes ornaments, like a potter would make toys or pots, just like those are their functions, Brahma's function is to create the world and also be the material cause of the world. Also, we would be seeing something different in the form or shape, but it would still be Brahma. Just like a potter would change the shape of its pot, but it would still be the same clay.
Nice. Next, please.
Brahma himself is creator of the universe. A potter makes pots, and by making the pot, we can then say that the potter is the creator or doer of the function to create the pot. The same way we say that Brahma is the creator / doer of the functions that created the universe. Brahma is the cause of the universe. There is always a factor behind the existence of something. Here is an example. You can't make a painting without the paint or without the canvas. Therefore, saying this, Brahma is the cause of the universe as well. More will be explained in Brahma is a non-differential cause. Everything plays its part in the creation. After knowing that, we can infer this. 1. The creation of the object is made from some material. 2. In the making of an object, it is necessary to have some adjuncts. Upadankaran, material cause. Upadankaran is the material cause. What this means is soil is one type of material. Soil can be used to make the pot, but the soil cannot be separated from the pot. Therefore, this is an example of the material cause. Nimitkaran, efficient cause. The tools we use to make miscellaneous things out of any material is said to be efficient cause, or nimitkaran. Water, wheel, and stick are required for pot making. That is efficient cause. Brahma is the material and efficient cause. The material cause and efficient cause are always separate, but this cannot be said with the creation of the universe. Brahma is the material and efficient cause. To summarize, Brahma is the material and Brahma is the tool behind the making of this universe.
Great. Next.
Satkarantavad, absolute of the cause, the doctrine of the cause of the existence. In the paragraph Satkarantavada, the first chapter of Pramaratna Sangraha, it thoroughly explains the 2 prevailing theories of the theory of causation. The 2 theories are as follows: Satkarantavad and Asatkarantavad. Satkarantavad are one of the 2 prevailing theories of causation. Satkarantavadis believe in accepting the cause as absolute material, as opposed to Asatkarantavadis. Satkarantavadis believe that the non-existent thing can never be the cause for anything. This means that the causative attribute can never be found in non-existent matter. So an object that doesn't exist can never create something. Asatkarantavad. Asatkarantavad are one of the two prevailing theories behind the causation. Asatkarantavadis believe that the absoluteness as cause is false. Asatkarantavadis believe that destruction of one thing leads to the creation of the other. This is demonstrated with the example of sesame seeds into oil. Mahaprabhu agrees with the theory of Satkarantavad because he does not believe that the destruction of one thing leads to the creation of another.
Fine. Next.
So I had the topic of all the doctrines or all the beliefs contradictory to the doctrine of existence. So the first one is Ajativad. So this was propounded by Acharya Sri Gopad, and this theory is that Brahma is an attribute of Ajati, so nothing can be produced. Brahma exists but doesn't have the ability to create anything. So this is negated by Srimad Prabhuji because Brahma is both the efficient and material cause. The next one is Svabhavavad. This is by both Lord Buddha and also scientists because this explains that the world exists without any causes and it's self-sustaining. And this is negated because Brahma is not a cause for the universe. The next one is Pratitya Samutpad. So this is also explained by Lord Buddha, who says that there are multiple causes for a function, not just one. So the clouds, if you take that as an example, humans create the shapes from our own assumptions. So they believe that assumptions from our experiences generates the material, not the actual material itself. And in this, there's no cause and effect. The next one is Sangatvad, and this is also explained by Lord Buddha. So he explains that materials around us are a collection of more materials. So if you take a forest, it's a collection of trees. The forest doesn't exist, only the tree does. And the only thing that exists is Shonyavad, which is absolute emptiness. And in order to let go of the worldly attachment, that's how you achieve nirvana, by negating all these worldly materials. The next one is Arambad, and this is explained by Gautam Rishi. He explains that causative materials are put together for a new effect. So if you take kheer, for example, this is created from rice, milk, and sugar, and only these materials are used. Because these ingredients alone don't make the kheer, you have to boil it itself, so you need different materials for a new effect. And each material changes form at every moment. There's no material or efficient cause for the universe, which is why it's negated by Srimad Prabhuji. And they believe that Brahma is the only efficient cause, and that he creates the world without any interference. The next one is Vivartvad, and this is propounded by Shankaracharya, and this explains that Brahma is the only reality and the whole world is an illusion. So if you take a rope and we think it's like a snake, that's just an illusion. So they have this definition of called Vivarth, which means illusion of something that isn't real. So they believe that Brahma and Maya are two separate entities, and Brahma invites Maya on him. So Brahma is like the person, Maya acts like a mirror, and Jagat is the reflection. Brahma is Shuddha Sattva, he's pure, and Maya is impure, Malin Sattva. So Maya is given more power when invited by Brahma. And the followers concentrate on Brahma, and they negate Maya and worldly life. And they achieve salvation when you realize that you're part of Brahma. And this is negated in Brahmavad because there can only be one entity, and we believe that Maya is Brahma's own Shakti. And the next one is Parinamvad.
This is the Sankhya philosophy. So they believe that no new creations or forms are actually being created. The material is changing itself. So the cause is always turning into an effect, and they're changing their form. So nothing new is actually created. If you take a seed, it transforms into a tree. So they believe that the creation of the universe happens when the Prakriti, which is the non-living, and the Baruch, which is the living, merge together. And when they interact, the new universe is created. And so there's two types of transformations. So there's Vikrut Parinam and Avikrut Parinam. The second one is accepted by Srimad Prabhuji. Vikrut Parinam is modified transformation. So if you take the example of a milk turning into a curd, the curd can't go back to a milk. And so there's been a modification in its attributes. And this isn't accepted by us because it explains that Brahma needs something else in order for the universe to be created. Avikrut Parinam is accepted by Srimad Prabhuji because the attributes don't change during transformation. So when there's gold that's used to make jewelry, the gold hasn't changed its properties. So Brahma doesn't need to modify itself because all the particles go back to him.
Just one correction about how you explained the Shankaracharya ji is that you attain salvation when you realize that you are a part of Brahma. This is not what Shankaracharya ji believes, because according to Shankaracharya ji, you yourself is a Brahma. It means I am Brahma. This is the nature of realization, not being a part of Brahma. Part of Brahma is what Mahaprabhu ji accepts, because we are Ansh and Bhagavan is Anshi. We are like a drop of an ocean and Bhagavan is like an ocean. But for Shankaracharya ji, we are not a part of Brahma, we are Brahma himself. But as we are under the influence of Maya, we are understanding that I am a different entity and you are a different entity and everything is different from me. And therefore we start considering ourselves as an individual. So this is a misunderstanding. So when we have to attain salvation, we will have to realize that I myself is a Brahma, and by that I will be attaining salvation. This is what Shankaracharya ji accepts.
Ha, Raja.
Fine. Next.
Danat Pranam Raja. And my topic is Parinamvad. So Parinamvad is a theory proposed by Maharshi Kapil for explaining his philosophical perspective for the Karya-Karan-Bhav process regarding the universe's creation. Parinamvad believes in the transformation of the causal material into the final creation. Therefore, the term Parinam ultimately means an object that has been produced out of an existing material. According to Parinamvadis, nothing in the universe, whether it is worldly or otherworldly, can be destroyed or acknowledged as a new beginning. All materials simply transform their initial stage into the effect based on their requirements. Due to such a philosophical stand of Parinamvadis, they have come to refute or contradict the theory of Adamvad, which has been propagated by the Nyaya school of Vedanta. Adamvad is a theory that portrays how the material cause of an object is continuously changing its original state according to its environment, resulting in a new beginning. For this reason, they believe that all material elements in the world have momentary identities that are always transforming from one state to another. They recognize this as the fundamental truth of the universe. To provide an example, when raw rice, sugar, and milk are mixed and heated together, their initial state evolved into its boiled form, gradually producing kheer. Since Adamvad's philosophical viewpoint revolves around how all elements have temporary identities, they would not consider the raw rice, sugar, and milk as the material cause, but as the temporary garden of the kheer. To them, the final cause of the kheer would result in the heated state, where the feast is fully prepared to the very end. So it can be concluded that the Adamvad does not believe in any particular object with any particular form to be recognized as the causal material, because all things are constantly changing towards a new beginning or a new atom. Parinamvad strongly opposes this theory of Atomvad because in their belief, nothing new is being created from a destroyed cause, but the Karan is simply transforming its form to appear as the effect. The cause does not need to die for being in the form of the product, but simply needs to convert itself into the effect. From this process of transformation, the word parinam is originated, and as mentioned before, it can be defined as the creation of an object from material that already exists. To further understand the distinction between parinamvad and atomvad, we can take the example of a wooden chair. In the process of creating the chair, the wood must be carved into such a shape for producing the effect. However, this does not necessarily mean that the wood destroys its initial condition to change its form into the chair. A parinamvadi would view this example as only a transformation of the wood into the chair, because the attributes and characteristics remain correspondent and identical between the effect and the cause. In the beginning stage, the log of wood may have appeared in a different form in comparison to the final effect of the chair, but ultimately, it is the wood that has created the product. Despite the change in shape, wood is wood, and this causal material remains existing within the final product of the chair. However, in opposition to this theory stands Atomvad's philosophy that would hold a different perspective regarding the wooden chair example. As per them, just like a seed must be destroyed to produce a tree, the wood must also change its original raw condition to become the chair. When the wood is processed to become the wooden chair, its form continues to evolve towards a new beginning. Every moment is a new beginning for the Atomvadis, since the cause is constantly changing for creating the finalized product. For example, raw wood must go through a process where it becomes polished and painted, and at every stage, the raw wood appears to be different. For Atomvad, the raw wood can't be identified as the material cause of the chair, but instead the material cause would be the finished wood that has gone through all the stages and is ready to be assembled into the chair. In their theory, the raw wood and the finished wood are two different identities and cannot be recognized as the same, because every beginning brings forward a new change. However, it is not true when Atomvad says that the clay destroys itself to become the pot, or the seed is destroying itself to produce the tree, or the wood is being destroyed to create the chair. In all of these mentioned examples, Parinamvad explains the theory of transformation and not destruction like Atomvad does. Even if the Karan does get destroyed, how can it be possible to produce something out of a non-existent material? It is quite impossible, and therefore Parinamvad believes in how the material becomes created through an existing cause and not through a non-existent entity. There are two prakars of Parinamvad, Vikrut Parinamvad and Avikrut Parinamvad, which have been explained as the modified and the unmodified transformation of the universe respectively. Vikrut Parinamvad is the theory accepted by Sankhya philosophy, who counts the elements or the materials that work together in creating the universe. The theory Vikrut Parinamvad originated from the word Vikruti, meaning a change or a modification that takes place in the attributes of the effect during the transformation between the cause and the product. Therefore, in other words, Vikrut Parinamvad is recognized as the modified transformation. The material cause transforms into the effect with the modification attributes, meaning the attributes change within the process of transformation between the Karan to the Karya. For example, to produce curd out of the milk must be congealed to have the final effect of the curd. When the milk is being converted into the curd, the features or characteristics change within the curd, making it distinct from the milk. Although the curd is simply transformation of the milk, the change in attributes causes a variety between the cause and the effect. As a result of this change, the curd cannot be reconverted into its original form of being the milk. This example is a lot like two colors of red and yellow merging together to create the color of orange. The color orange has neither the attributes of red nor yellow, but is unique in its own way. But this does not mean the original colors have been destroyed to produce orange, but they continue to remain existing within the orange color. Just like the curd cannot transfer back into the milk, the orange color cannot transform into its red and yellow colors. So, Vikrut Parinamvad explains that between the conversion of the Karan to the Karya, some sort of changes in the properties take place that makes the transformation of the effect back to the cause impossible. Sankhya has propagated the theory Viकृt Parinamvad applied a similar concept in the context of the universe. Since Sankhya contradicts the existence of Brahma, they have considered that Prakriti and Purush are the elements that merge together for creating the universe. Prakriti represents the group of Jad Padarth, while Purush represents the group or samashti of the sentient beings of Chaitanya. In the philosophy of Sankhya, Prakriti and Purush do not become destroyed for creating the universe, but instead the interaction with one another results in this new creation. Sankhya clearly explains the relationship between Prakriti and Purush using the analogy of a fan and electricity. A fan cannot be powered to provide cool air without electricity, and electricity cannot directly provide the fresh air without the help of the fan. Since the fan cannot work without electricity, and electricity needs the fan for bringing the fresh air, they are both a necessity for accomplishing a single goal. The similar relationship is seen in the context of Prakriti and Purush. Prakriti cannot alone have the capacity for creating the universe, and in the same way, the Purush cannot do the same without the assistance and help of Prakriti. So ultimately, both Prakriti and Purush are necessary elements for the creation of the universe. According to Sankhya, as mentioned before, when these two elements merge together, the universe comes to have different attributes than the ones previously found in Prakriti and Purush. Due to the modified transformation between these two elements and the Jagat, the universe can't return to its original condition. However, Avikrut Parinamvad is the complete opposite of what Vikrut Parinam had to say. Avikrut Parinamvad does not believe in the modified transformation, but the unmodified transformation of the universe. This theory has been proposed by Mahaprabhuji for opposing the Vikrut Parinamvad theory. In Mahaprabhuji's theory, the concept of Satkarantavad and Satkaryavad is being proved here by explaining how the transformation of the material object originates as the effect. Here, the definition of transformation differs from Vikrut Parinamvad. According to Sri Vallabhacharya, this entire universe is the unmodified transformation of Brahma. Whenever someone or something has an unmodified transformation, one cannot differentiate the cause from the effect or the effect from the cause because the matter of what the material has been made out of remains the same. For example, a biscuit of gold can be transformed into any kind of ornament based on the wish of a person. But for the transformation to take place, the gold must be heated and molded for obtaining the final effect of the ornament. The product, whatever kind of jewelry it may be, would have a different shape from the initial biscuit of gold. Despite this, the gold would continue to exist in the effect without any change in the attributes. Because of the unmodified transformation between the gold bar and the ornament, the jewelry can be melted down into another design or reconverted to its original condition like it was before the transformation took place. This concept can be applied to the contents of the Jagat. Brahma is like the gold who has transformed his attributes of Sat and Chit into all the names, forms, and functions with the unmodified transformation. The form in which the Jagat exists may differ from Brahma, but ultimately they are non-distinguishable. Those who consider Brahma to be separate from the universe are misinterpreting Brahma's power and form. Just like a person can choose whether he wants an ornament melted down into another shape of jewelry or transformed back into the original form of a gold bar, Brahma can also decide whether he wants to reveal or conceal the universe into its infinity, because there was no modified transformation within the process of creating the universe. For this reason, the process of Avirbhav or Tirobhav of the world is possible according to Mahaprabhuji. However, if one starts considering this theory through the perspective of Vikrut Parinamvad, it would mean that we would have to accept another entity as the creator of the Jagat, along with Brahma, since there has to be an interaction between two entities for there to be the existence of a modified transformation. This would mean that Brahma would have to modify his attributes for originating the Jagat, like the milk was modified for producing the curd. Just like the curd cannot return back into its initial state, how will the universe retransform into the form of Brahma? How can the destruction of the universe be possible? Therefore, Mahaprabhuji has refuted the Vikrut Parinamvad theory since it bans the infinity of Brahma to certain limits. However, in the theory of Brahmavad proposed by Sri Mahaprabhuji, Brahma's unlimited bliss is described as Ekameva Dvitiya, because he is the only existing entity present in the entire universe. For this universe to be truly Brahmatma, only he must be the creator of the Jagat and no one else. In all situations, Brahma is infinite and superior, whether it is before or after the creation of the universe. It is not so that Brahma does not remain equally perfect after the origination of the universe. He is always complete. Those who are complete never have to depend on others for the fulfillment of their enjoyment or satisfaction. Since Brahma himself has used his attributes for creating the universe, he cannot be considered incomplete. But when the name of another entity comes into the creation of the universe, Brahma can no longer remain complete, but instead will be limited to certain boundaries. Having said this, Sri Mahaprabhuji does not completely negate Vikrut Parinamvad. Sri Vallabhacharya explains that Avikrut Parinamvad is a theory that mainly applies to the context of Brahma. Vikrut Parinamvad may be accepted in the worldly context, but not in the context of the universe, for maintaining the importance of Brahma's infinity as Ekameva Dvitiya.
Very nice. We'll be having the next presentations tomorrow. I am glad that you people understood the topic very well, and in spite of asking the questions, I am glad to see you people presenting the topic, because this is how, when we speak something, when we repeat something, it gets in our heart. We try to understand it more properly. So that's why we are having this sort of presentation here, so that you people can understand the topic given very well. We'll be continuing with the next presentations tomorrow. Very well.